Remember, my book next appointment is checked. So when I post this invoice for this customer, you're going to notice in the appointment area, the software is requesting that I book a next appointment. There are two notes here. One note is the vehicle is due for future service on Sunday, July 30th. Well, I'm not open on Sundays, so notice the appointment date skips Sunday. See, this is looking at the interval date, and what it's taking this from, okay, on July 30th is going to be the tire rotation. The tire rotation has never been done. Okay, so the software is looking at the next item in line. Okay, the next item in line. The second note says this vehicle has services overdue. They were due Wednesday, January 1st of 2003. That's the fuel injection flush, okay? So we're looking at the two different items, but here's the main point. It's going to bring all your reminder items forward as a note. It's going to tell you when the next appointment should be booked, okay? If you don't want to book it on that day or that's not agreeable with your customer, simply check on the calendar and set whatever day you want. If you want to do it on August 1st, then you can do that. So you can set whatever date, and you can actually even set whatever time, but this is the agreement with the customer. You also have the ability to go in here and make any changes you want to make. Like the state inspection isn't due, so I don't really want that in my reminder right now. Okay, well actually it's coming up July. Maybe I should leave that one. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go down a little bit further. The air filter is not due till 2018. Okay, so all of these items on here that you see I've highlighted are all due next year. Okay, so it may well be the case that we don't want to bring those items forward. You also have the ability to go in and do an edit. If this is an opportunity to do a remedy or update an existing interval, and you also have the ability to go in and type notes in. So you are really in control of exactly what's going to happen here along with your date. Okay, so again, let's just move this to August 1st. We're going to select OK. All right, and when we move forward with this, we're obviously going to need mileage. Okay, so the outgoing mileage on this vehicle, let's just say, is 200,000. And you guys know when you post the invoice, however, we're going to take the money from the customer. Okay, geez, and let's just see here. Since I can't count change, I'm going to have to type it in. It'll tell me how much change to give the customer. We go to the next screen, and we're going to end up in our posting screen. I'm not going to print anything. All it's going to do is make a bunch of noise on my printer. Okay, and the last thing that we have in here on the posting side, there'll be more, but the last thing on this screen is that we also have the ability to send an email out to our customer. Okay, so we have the ability to post, and we have the ability to go ahead and schedule next appointments. If in the fact that the customer says, let's not do the next appointment, it's simply uncheck the box. So, you know, you're not railroading anybody, so you can or you can back out. It's your choice. Remember, you can schedule it, not schedule it. You can change the date, you can change the notes for the appointment, and you can even go in and edit your reminders right here. Okay, I'm going to do a cancel on that. And I'm going to take you back to setup, and we're going to talk about what if the customer does not have reminders? What happens then? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the work in progress. I'm going to bring up a customer's vehicle that does not have any reminders. Okay, so this customer's vehicle doesn't have any, doesn't want to track reminders, is not interested, so that's fine. When I go to post on this, okay, then the system looks at August 18th. And it says, would you like to schedule a next appointment? So it's asking, it's not requiring. If you don't want to do the appointment, uncheck the box. If you do want to do the appointment or you want it on a different date, you guys know you can click on your calendar, okay, and you'll be able to schedule that appointment. You can write down any notes, and if you want to promote the reminders to the customer, it says the vehicle has no reminders, so you can go in and add reminders at this point. So maybe sometimes you want to do it in the closing. Maybe you're too busy in the morning when you're writing the customer up. Maybe you have more time going closing. Okay, so there's several opportunities that, that you can use to process these reminders. Keep in mind the settings back here under the location settings. Those are what are prompting those. If we don't check the box, we do a save. Okay, I would have to go in and save these work orders right quick. Let me see if I can do a save and have it pick that up. Okay, so see, it's not scheduling appointments, it's informing me. If I want to do an appointment, I check the box, the information comes forward. So it's really up to you whether you want to try to always prompt yourself to do an appointment, whether you want to be selective about your customers and or their vehicles. Those choices are all up to you, but they're all available in how you set up these two boxes. Book next appointment, and then the default appointment time would be, if the customer does not have reminders, set this up so it'll always book out 3 months, which is the normal old school standard on appointments. That's really the way that the reminders work. Hopefully you can take something from that and apply it to some of your customers' vehicles. Let's talk just a little bit about setting reminders up. Jeff, we should have another poll question in here. Let me just see here. Dates are reset. We're going to do, I believe this question is, what is the best way to set up reminders for your fleet customers? Okay, so hopefully you guys can see those. I'm thinking you can. Not seeing anybody voting, so I'm wondering if you're seeing them.
Yeah, they can see them.
Okay. Okay, so our options are, the best way of setting up reminder items and groups for your fleet customers is by setting up individual reminders, by setting up existing reminder groups, or by creating a customized reminder group. 88% of the folks said creating a customized reminder group, and that's exactly what we want to see. So you guys have got a good handle on how this is going to work. Let's spend a minute on setting up some reminders. Under your setup, all you do is locate reminders and reminder items. Everybody, when you went to the .NET or Enterprise Pro software, would have received this exact same list, okay? But there are some options here. Let's talk about adding to the list. Let's say that I want to add a reminder item that's not in the list. We're going to say, let's do wiper blades. We set up an interval. How often do we want to replace the wiper blades? So we'll use a periodic. Let's do a time. Let's set it at months. I don't know, let's say, I mean, we don't get that bad of weather down where I'm at, but we do get a little dry rot, so let's say about 12 months and maybe about 12,000 miles. Okay, so if that's what I want on the reminders, we've got it. If I want to extend that a little bit for some other customers, I'm going to make another reminder interval option for 24 months or 24,000 miles. So you see, you can set up as many reminder intervals as you would like that you can select from, or remember, you can customize the interval at the customer's work order. The last item would be the triggers. What is going to update this reminder? When does it set a new service date or a new due date? And the trigger is going to be the job that's going to replace the wiper blades. So under my triggers, I'm going to add a service package. My wiper blades are under accessories, and I can simply type in to easily locate that. Okay, and what I'm going to look at here is going to be windshield wiper blades. Okay, so let's locate that service on the front. Okay, I could put wipers on the rear, however many triggers are going to update that. So what we've just done is we've said we want a new reminder item for wiper blades. Our default intervals will be 12 and 12 or 24 and 24, and I can have as many intervals as I want, or I can customize it at the customer's work order. And whenever I perform or put this service package on the work order, then that trigger will update the last service and the next due service. So I've simply added that in, and there are the wiper blades. I also have the ability to make groups. Let's go to groups for a minute. We've got the basic, and you guys can see we talked a little bit about these, but let's just say we want to create a customized group. So I'm going to add a new group. I'm going to call this group, and this is specific to a customer's fleet. So this is ABC. So I'm designing this reminder group specifically for this customer. Under the reminder items, I'm going to go in and say, okay, so I'm going to sit down with the fleet manager. What are the items we want to track? Okay, so if I want to track air filters, great. Now I can do multiple items at a time. I don't have to do them one at a time. They want to track the air filter. They want to track their belts. They want to track their flushes. So we're just going to go in here and grab all of the flushes. All I do is hold down the control key, okay? And some of their vehicles might be four-wheel drive. Some of them may not. Some of them may be diesel. Some of them may not. I want to track the oil changes, okay? So you guys can see these are the items that we want to track. When I put them on, notice the default interval is none. Now, if I wanted to, I could set default intervals for these. If the fleet manager says, I want air filters replaced once a year, sure enough, I want the belts replaced, you know, however often. So you can sit down with the fleet manager and set this up specifically the way they want it, or you can leave them open and assign them when you apply it to a particular vehicle. It's whichever preference you have and whichever agreement you make with the company. We select OK. We now have an ABC fleet group specific to their needs. If I go to contacts, I'm going to bring up the customer, ABC. They have currently 2 vehicles. They want to apply that maintenance group to the Chevy Silverado. I'm going to go to reminders. I'm going to select add. I can do an ABC right here and narrow down the search. There's the group I just created. There are the reminders. So now remember, some of these I set as the defaults, and of course some of them you can change, okay, to whichever way you want to do it. Okay, apply. If there's ever been a last service, it's going to pick it up. If not, everything is showing up as due. If we want to bring this fleet or this maintenance reminder group up to date, then I can go through and remedy the items, identifying specific dates and specific services. And now this group would be all up to date. Okay. Now I've just gained myself a new customer because I'm able to customize a maintenance program around their driving needs. Okay. Last thing I'm going to bring to you guys is going to be a reminder. I just want to make sure everybody understands all future booked appointments. When you post an invoice and you do a next appointment, it's going to show up under your future appointments, just like any other appointment would. And I also just want to set the stage for you that in case you didn't know, because a lot of people are not aware of our CRM program. The CRM program allows you to set your system up to automatically send out an email reminder to any customer that has booked an appointment. Okay, you can set 2 reminders at different intervals, or you can use 1 if you would like to set this up. The software will then automatically send out an email reminder to whoever the email is registered to on file saying this particular vehicle is scheduled for appointment on this day. So remember, these reminders are for appointments. They're only going to go out when you have an appointment booked in the software and you have to have an email on file. If you guys would like any more information on the CRM, contact your distributor, representative, or your support department. And let me top that off by saying the email service is free. There are no extra charges for that. Okay, so take a look at the help, talk to your distributor, or let us know if there are any other items that you guys want to look at. Okay, so I went through, I didn't hit all the poll questions back here on my side. I just want to make sure we do a review. Add reminders, edit reminders, skip reminders, delete reminders, remedy, the triggers or the services, booking next appointments, how do we use that on subsequent visits, and how to set up your own reminders in your software. Okay, so let's take a couple minutes for some questions. Looks like there's some stuff on the board here. Let's just see, we've got a off topic. Can we save an attachment from an email to a work order or a contact? And the answer is unfortunately no, not presently. We'll see, that would be a feature request, so any features, send them into your support department. The next question is going to be, what will happen if the reminder is checked but nothing is in the reminder list or box? Will the customer receive an email? Customer is only going to receive emails for scheduled appointments. We do not send reminders or emails out for reminder items. We send emails out for scheduled appointments. So nothing will happen there. They will not receive an email. Okay. Mark has a question. What's the easiest way for the technician to see the reminders in order for the tech to recommend services? That would most likely be however you've got your tech security set up. If I'm not mistaken, they should be able to get to reminders from the work order or the vehicle. I'd have to probably go back and take a look at the exact technician view, which I don't have set up in here. So Mark, depending on how you've got your technician security, but from a work order, they should be able to access reminder items, or they should be able to access the vehicle, which will then give them access to any of the reminder items, last service, and due dates. Another Mark has a question. We share customers between our locations. Does the software have the ability to look at all locations? You better believe it. The only thing you need to make sure of, there is a box when you're saying you have multiple locations. In the enterprise setting, and everybody has got this unless you say you don't want it, you'll be able to share customers, vehicles, and invoice history. So Mark, you will be able to view not only the customer, the vehicle, the history, but you will also be able to view the reminders. It's sharing customers, vehicles, and invoice history. So the vehicle, the reminders are on the vehicle, and wherever you share the vehicle between your locations, you will be able to see that along with invoices posted in history. Colin, can you simply add the factory schedule maintenance? Unfortunately, no. But let me do say this, okay? Because I didn't point this out, and it does have a play in today's conversation. Does everybody see service interval service right here? Okay, right off of the work order, if you click on interval service, select an odometer reading, whatever it is. On the left is mileage, on the right side is kilometers. When you select your usage or interval, it's going to ask you a qualifying question. This is my vehicle. It is automatic and it is air conditioned. Okay, and right here would be like walking out. This is the exact same thing to walking out to that 2002 Toyota Tundra, opening up the glove box and opening up the manual. And at 120,000 kilometers, or in the US, 75,000 miles, this is what you're going to see in the owner's manual. You do have the ability to utilize this, but no, we do not have the ability to automatically stamp reminders. So like we said on kind of like those first couple of slides, keep this in mind when setting up reminders, okay? Keep this in mind when setting up the reminders. But no, you cannot set up a reminder group straight from the service intervals. Unfortunately, you'd have to manually build those, okay? Okay, Brian, the CRM option, how do you activate it? What you want to do, Brian, is get in touch with your distributor or our support department. What'll happen with that is a gentleman by the name of Ian Shepard administers and controls that. He will load a series of templates into your database. Then you and Ian will work together to set up which of these you don't have to use them all. Okay, which of these you want to use and what frequency you want to send them out. So get in touch with our support department, either Mitchell or Protractor or your distributor, and tell them you want information on setting up the CRM. And did I mention it's free? Okay. Is there an extra cost? No, sir, there is not. As long as you use the default entry. If you want to start customizing, making a bunch of changes and stuff, then there will be charges, but the basic setup is completely free. Okay. You betcha, Brian, no problem. All right, guys, we're an hour in. I did run over 5 minutes, so if there's anybody else that has a question, we'll take another minute or so. If not, I'm sure you guys all have customers, technicians, and work orders and things to deal with. So, okay, that looks like it. I just want to say in closing, thank you guys again for coming out. Hopefully you can take something away. If nothing else, hopefully we've generated some interest. There's documentation in the help system, and all of this will be posted on the help system under webinars. Look forward to talking to you in 2 weeks. Our next webinar will be on June 1st, and happy software to you guys. Hopefully you can put some of this to work for you. Thanks, and have a great day, everybody.